Why, hello again. It's wonderful to see you. And goodness gracious, you've grown. Significantly, might I add. Have you been eating your vegetables? Seriously though, you've grown 50 feet taller. That's amazing. Congratulations. And, oh, that's strange. The surroundings seem to be 50 foot taller as well. Wonder why that is. Have you been feeding the surroundings vegetables as well? Well, I should probably make a note of this with my... Oh, that's strange. It appears that my hands are replaced with feathers. How odd. Maybe there might be some feathers on my... Oh, I don't have feet, just little birdie feet. It's strange. Wait a minute, let me just check out the... Goodness gracious, I'm a bird. I never would have expected that. This is absolutely, positively amazing. Well, I love birds, you see, and this has never happened to me before. Well, you're probably wondering what's going on here. Well, tell you what. Let me ask you first, how are you feeling? Yes, thank you for letting me know. Well, I decided to pop on by because I wanted to run a bit of a test with something to help with your stress levels before bed. And, well, yes, we all know that I've taken you to another little random location, of course. Oh, that Dr. Cyneric and his plucking people into random locations during his visits. I'm a bit of a rascal like that, aren't I? But, anyway. So, what happened was that, I think I might have run into a bit of a side effect. You see, I like to travel around through these, doorways, you could call them, yes. Let's call them doorways. And, sometimes they have side effects, and clearly this is one of them. It should be temporary, of course, but hopefully I shall be back to my usual self. Well, probably in about, hopefully, after a good night's rest, hopefully all will be well. Let's cross our fingers, eh? Cross fingers on that. Well, I can't really cross my fingers on my bird toes, but you know what I mean. So anyway, what I decided was to get you some bedtime stories. Yeah, I thought maybe some stories might help you unwind before sleep. How does that sound? How do you feel about that? Really? Oh, that's good. Well, let me start off with the first story. So, once I remember I visited this peculiar little girl, and I took her through my doorway, bed and all, and we appeared in a field in Holland right at night. Well, managed to bring a few candles this time, just to make sure that there was a bit of illumination, you see. You know, we don't want to be doing these kind of checkups in the dark with absolutely no illumination whatsoever. So that helped. So anyway, it was quite peculiar. She just kept staring at me, bewildered. Absolutely bewildered. It's like I saw a ghost. I mean, really? Do I look like a spooky, scary ghost in my human form? What do you think? Oh, that's interesting. Clearly she was a bit rattled. At first I was asking questions and, well, I wanted to make sure that she could talk, of course, so I tried asking, can you talk? But she was just too silent. Well, it made me wonder why that was. Was she scared? Did she forget how to speak? Was she trying to communicate with me by staring at me? Maybe more than the potential answers. So what I did was, I hypnotized her with my pen. I sent her into a bit of a love, and then with her dulled senses, she relaxed some more. I was able to get some answers from her, and she said such interesting things when I was asking, making sure that her health is in order, of course, and that all things are okay on her end. And she made a peculiar sound when she was responding to me. "Do you like ice cream?" I said. And she said, "Yes." What does yes mean? Well, I didn't know at the time, so after getting her back to sleep and sending her back to her home through the doorway, I decided to explore around to see if there's any kind of ice cream called Cyneric. After a good week or so of researching, I found nothing. Nothing at all. I was quite disappointed, really. I thought she was telling me that it was a flavour. So next time I visited her, I asked about that, and she was even more confused and said, "No, I was just tired." I thought, oh, that explains it. She was just making tired sounds. Silly Dr. Cyneric. That was a peculiar story, I know, but quite a funny one in retrospect. Did you enjoy that little tale? Really? Tell you what, I can tell you another one. How does that sound? Oh, certainly. What could I think of? Let me think. Oh, yes, I remember a story once I went to a bird sanctuary. I do like birds, you see, and sometimes I like to explore these peculiar areas, all these large aviaries and cages and all sorts like that. I love to visit the birds and be able to, well, see what they're like and see how they function, see how they respond to a bird-faced person like myself. I mean, of course, in my human form, with my big Dr. Mouse. But anyway, so what happened was I spotted a woodpecker. And he was in an aviary, and he had this little piece of string attached to the top of the aviary, and on the string was a hefty chunk of wood. And I thought, who put that there? Surely he couldn't have smuggled that under his feathers, surely. He looked at me, and he pecked like this. And I thought, interesting. I bet he's trying to communicate with me, so I pecked the aviary. I decided to go back, then decided to go in response, so I pecked the aviary even more. So it got me wondering, while I was being escorted off the premises by local security, what could that woodpecker be telling me? So I thought of an idea. What if he was trying to communicate with me with pecks? A bit like a bird Morse code. So I went back home and I started to create a bit of a transcript to see what could be potentially what he's saying. For example, 5 pecks in a row could be him saying, "How are you?" Pecking vigorously like might be his way of saying, "Be careful around the birdseed. I've dropped some on the floor and I don't want you to get harmed." You never know when these little nuggets of information may come in handy. So there's a few secrets in there. I've not published it yet. I hope to publish it. I would love to publish it in a book sometime. I'm still working on it. I just keep getting sidetracked by so much, especially work, especially trying to go around and make sure everyone's okay and tippity-top. Anyway, so that was another story right there. Was that interesting for you? Thank you for letting me know. Well, I do have a third one. How does it go again? Let me think. Oh, actually, I do remember a peculiar story. It's about a gentleman who had olives for eyes, except they glowed in the dark. Quite the twist, huh? So, does that sound interesting? Oh, certainly, I'd love to tell you. What happened was, I visited this rather peculiar gentleman, and like I said, his eyes seemed to glow, like he had black olives, and inside were tiny little green olives, and that seemed to glow. When I asked him his name, I visited him, and I brought his bed and himself, wearing his little pajamas. I brought him to a place called, I'm not quite sure what it was, but it was kind of like a biodome. Think of like a snow globe, but it's really, really big. And in the side is a little jungle. And lots of birds as well. It's quite safe from outside threats in the night and quite warm and toasty. I thought it'd be a very nice place to bring him, but when I brought him, he was rather bewildered. He just kept looking at me and shaking uncontrollably and looking at me with those olive eyes, and I tried to ask him some basic questions. He said that his name was something very strange, like Rub-a-dub, Dum, Glum, something like that, Dib-dib-dab. No, it was probably not something as silly as that. Let's assume that his name was Dib. It's probably something like Dib. So I spoke to Dib, and, well, he was quite nervous at first, and I decided to talk to him a bit about his eyes, and then he started talking some more about them, and it turns out that he also knows how to travel through these doorways to different places, different locations, sometimes around the world, sometimes to other worlds, completely different dimensions. And he was very ecstatic because he genuinely thought that he was the only person. I was quite curious to know more, so we'd started chatting for a good, I'd say probably an hour, 2 hours maybe. I was just sitting by his bedside and he was sitting up chatting away. But of course, had to make sure that he fell asleep again, so I decided to make some noises with the local fauna and nearby kind of trees, things like that. Like I cut a branch and some leaves and crumpled the leaves that had fallen and snapped the twig and tapped them against surfaces and let the birds kind of chirp a beautiful set of songs for him, just to help him unwind and relax. And he seemed to fall asleep quite soundly, actually. He slept like a baby, with a big smile on his face as well. But that was an interesting encounter I had with the gentleman, and of course I sent him back through, and that Deb fellow, again, it's probably something like that, Deb, back to his room I sent him. And of course I went off on my merry way, and I thought, what if there were other people just like him, just like me, who could travel to different places, different locations through these doorways? What if other people could do that? By the way, you'll keep this a secret, right? Because it could be quite dangerous for some people. Not implying that you're in any danger when I bring you through, but we don't want anyone being led through these by their own curiosity, and, well, never know what dangers might be around. Of course, you are safe with me. Dr. Cyneric is always making sure that his patients are ever so safe and snug in their beds. You can trust me. But anyway, did you like that story as well? Oh, I see. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, well, I can tell that you're getting ever so sleepy, so I should probably take my leave. But first, let me help you fall asleep, and then I'll be taking taking you back to your room while you're resting, so just close your eyes. Gently close those delicate eyes of yours. Take one deep breath in and a deep breath out. Deep breath in and another deep breath out. Keep breathing gently and softly. I'll be taking you home. All will be well. Everything will be back where it belongs. That includes you in your own room, in your own home, wrapped in your blankets, resting on your pillows, ready to be greeted by the sun once again. Gently breathing now. Don't forget the gentle breathing. Ever so gently. Ever so gently now. Breathing softly. And Dr. Cyneric, your old birdie buddy, will be seeing you soon. I promise you that, my #1 patient. I'll be seeing you ever so soon. Sweetest of dreams now. Sweetest of dreams to you. Salutations and greetings once again. It's me, Dr. Cyneric, your old doctor pal. How are you feeling? Really? Oh well, thank you for letting me know. Well, I've got a surprise for you. Look, it's a little watch on a chain. Isn't it a nice little watch? A small clock dangling by this chain between my fingers. Perhaps you would like to look at it. It's quite shiny after all. Quite shiny, isn't it? Very shiny. It's rocking left and right. Slowly, gently, very gently indeed. Perhaps you'd like to keep looking at it. Very, very softly. Your eyes are going left to right. Left to right. Over and over again. Paying attention to the little clock. The big hand. And the small hand. Watching it rock to and fro, waving right in front of you, ever so softly and ever so gently, and you're about to fall into a trance, a relaxed headspace, nothing to make you feel out of place or stressed out, or anything like that. In 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay, well, looks like I've just managed to hypnotize you. I probably should have told you before doing that. We are currently in, well, I'm not really sure where we are. We're in a rather thick amount of fog. Purple fog. I like purple. But still, I'm not entirely sure where I took you when I travelled through the usual means of transport and brought you in your big comfy bed with me. And, well, hopefully we can get back to your usual room right after I try this little experiment. But don't worry, it's all safe. I wanted to have a crack at hypnotizing you with a watch with a little clock attached to a chain, because I've not tried that yet, but I want to see if that helps with your mood and your stress levels. So let me keep trying to keep your attention on the watch. You're still under my control. Still under my control. But all will be well, because I'm here to help you and support you. That's what your old pal Dr. Cyneric loves to do the most. It's to help and support you. Isn't this a fascinating little watch I've got? A fascinating little clock. All the numbers are written in Roman numerals, and it's made of, well, I assume probably steel and iron, but it looks silver though, so you never know. There could be a little bit of valuable silver in it. Well, probably not. I managed to purchase it from a gift shop somewhere. But that's not the point. The point is, it's most powerful when used to hypnotize. So, let's ask you a few questions while I've got you under my spell. Alright then, so, question 1. Do you feel stressed? More stressed or less stressed while you're being hypnotized by me? Just say more, less, or the same. Okay, then let's quickly make a note of that. Alright, still watching the clock, still watching the watch. That's still waving my finger. It's a little difficult to write while trying to wave the watch, so I apologize for that. Oh, well, you're hypnotized anyway, so I'm sure you're fine with it. Question 2. How is your headspace? Are you feeling good, bad, or same as before? Is there an improvement in your mood? Or maybe you've felt a bit worse after being hypnotized, or maybe the same. Either way, please tell me, how was your headspace, and how was your headspace before? Oh, I see. Alright then, let's quickly write that down. There we go. And of course, the watch is still waving to and fro. You are still under my control. Still being hypnotized. To and fro, waving it around while I try to find the other question. Let me just quickly check my notes while I'm waving this around. Cheese, egg, milk, bird seeds. That's not a batch of questions, that's a shopping list. Ignore that. That was just me reciting some shopping. What is the question? Oh, here it is. The next question for me to ask you. Do you feel safe within my presence? Or better yet, because you're hypnotized, are you feeling safer or in more danger in my usual presence? Or maybe the same as before? What do you say? Safer, less safe, or the same as usual? Really? Alright then, well, let me just quickly scribble that down. Yeah, there we go. And of course, the little watch, the little clock is still attracting your attention, as it should be, and I certainly hope you're still looking at it. I just made a little doodle there, that's not a question either. Oh, there we go, another question here. Who is the coolest and most brilliant doctor out there? Is it A, Dr. Cyneric, B, Dr. Cyneric, or C, good old Dr. Cyneric? Now choose carefully. I'm sure I know what the answer is. But by all means, take all the time you need. Who do you think is the coolest doctor out there? Thank you. Okay, I admit that's not a real question. I just wanted to make sure that you think I'm, as people say these days, cool. And I'm glad to hear that. Okay, the real question, I'll stop being so silly. just can't help myself sometimes. I like a little joke here and there. Anyway, since you're currently hypnotized under my spell, how much do you remember of our last encounter? Do you remember all of it right now? Do you remember none of it? Do you remember less of it? Or about the same as before? Do tell, do tell. Oh, I see. Thank you for letting me know. It was a bit of a strange little turn of events when I paid you a visit, transformed into a bird. That was rather peculiar indeed, though I did spill the beans about my means of travel. But hopefully we can just erase that part of the stories I was sharing from your memory. It's nothing against you in any capacity. It's just to make sure that no one else is kind of trying this, because it can be dangerous, especially without a guide like Dr. Cyneric helping you along, keeping you safe, of course. So let's try that then. Watching the little clock in my hands, you will forget all about it. All about those stories I told you about me traveling around through different dimensions, through portals, the same ones that I take you through. You shall forget all about that gold in detail, and you will make no mention of it next time we meet. Unless I mention it by accident, in which case you'll probably remember it, regardless of the hypnosis. But, well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right then. Well, I believe that I have everything in order here with these little notes. Thank you once again. So, how would you like for me to use my little hypnosis powers to remove all the stress from your body and then help you go to sleep? How does that sound? Yeah, it does sound good. All right then, let's make it happen. Now just take a deep breath and get comfy in your bed while still looking at this little watch in my hands, this lovely little pocket watch, as it's rocking to and fro like a pendulum in a clock, a shiny silver pendulum attached to many small chains, creating a long, well, it's not that long, but a reasonably sizable chain. What would you call the bits of a chain? Would you call them ropes? Would you call them mini chains? Are they circles? Is a chain a collection of these things, or can you call a single part of the chain? I'm sorry, my memories. Sorry, my head's kind of spiraling in different directions. Still watching the watch, still watching the pocket watch. And all your worries and fears, all the stress will dissipate from you, melt out of your body. It won't make a mess, don't worry. It's not going to literally melt out, because that'll stain the blankets with all the stress and bad stuff, and, well, you'll have to put that in the washing machine. But anyway, all the bad stuff in your memory will all be washed away, all gone, all dissipated, and you will wake up feeling like a fresh daisy in the sunlight in a large open field of beautiful flowers. Now you feel your body gradually getting more and more tired as you sink closer and closer into your pillow, and the warm embrace of your blankets are cuddling you. Snugly and warm they are, ever so welcoming and warm, like an embrace from someone you love dearly. And now, close your eyes. Just imagine the little pocket watch swinging to and fro in your mind. Soon enough, you will be fast asleep. But don't you worry, your old pal Dr. Cyneric will be back. I'll be back soon once again to check in on you. But for now, you shall rest, and all will be well. Everything will be well. Sweetest of dreams, my #1 patient. And I hope to see you again ever so soon. I'm certainly hoping you have wonderful dreams. Yes, most wonderful, delightful dreams. Hello, how are you feeling? I see. Well, thank you for letting me know. By the way, I've got things to share with you. Do you want to learn more about them? Certainly. Right, so I've been doing some research and I thought that what I could do to help you relax and unwind is perhaps whisper some facts about dogs to you, because I heard that dogs are very popular pets indeed. Do you like dogs? Oh, really? Well, don't suppose you might have a dog as a pet, do you? Oh, I see. Well, I thought that this might be quite interesting for you to hear. So tell you what, why don't you get yourself all snuggly and comfy, and I'll whisper some facts to you. How does that sound? Okay then, make sure you're all warm and snuggly in bed. There we go, yes. Actually, would you like me to help tuck you in a bit? Certainly, I'd be more than happy to. Let me tuck you in a bit more. There we go. Nice and comfy. Plump those pillows. Alright then, here we are. Let's delve into these wonderful facts all about dogs, shall we? Did you know that dogs have about 1,700 taste buds? Compared to us humans, we have between 2,000 and 10,000 taste buds. Now isn't that fascinating? You'd probably think otherwise because dogs seem to be, well, food-eating machines at times. They seem to guzzle away at almost anything. Dog biscuits, cooked meals for humans, and some other sorts of messes that we shall not talk about explicitly. So, I suppose you could say that dogs don't really taste things nearly as well as we do, but that doesn't stop them from eating away. Yum yum yum, yummy, chomping away. I guess that's probably a good thing because, well, they're less picky that way when trying to buy them certain dog foods and the like. If they got a wind of how tasty human food is compared to their little doggy biscuits and tinned slop, then who knows, they might revolt and try and get our food more. Well, that's what they do anyway, but nevertheless, here's another fact for you. Dogs aren't colourblind. It's a bit of a weird fact, isn't it? We always thought that dogs can't see any colour, but that's actually not entirely true. Dogs can see colours like blue and yellow. Not much else though. So it's not a monochrome for poochies. But if you were to take them to, let's say, the ocean, chances are they could probably see all that vast blue around them. That's for sure. So like I say, that's a fact for you to impress your friends with. Here's another fact for you. Petting dogs is actually very good for you and the dog. You know that feeling you get when you feel all warm and fuzzy inside when you stroke a dog? Well, they kind of feel the same thing as well, because they get a bit of a serotonin boost as well. It actually helps lower their blood pressure, and it lowers yours too. So next time you're feeling stressed, which dogs can sense, by the way, they can sense a lot of things, be sure to give them a stroke. That'll make them feel better too. Here's another fact. Dog noses have about 300 million receptors. Now that is amazing compared to us. Humans have about 5 billion receptors in our noses. So we can smell pretty good. But compared to dogs though, it's no wonder that people like the police always like to get dogs on board to sniff around and try to solve crimes that way. But they're also good at sniffing out food, and also there's some other little things that they like to do. For example, did you know that dogs sniff other dogs' backsides to identify them via pheromones? Yeah, it's not very nice, that fact, but at least you know why dogs sniff each other's bottoms. It's a bit silly, I know, but it's actually their way to kind of understand what another dog's like, trying to find out their sex, diet, and health. So they give a bit of a sniff to their backsides. Dogs have very peculiar little squishy noses. It's always very important that their noses are all nice and wet and moist. It helps them sniff a lot better. It also shows you if they're hydrated or not, so there's a bonus fact for you right there. Make sure they're getting lots and lots of water, especially if their nose is dry. But it is fun to kiss them, I'm sure. I bet you've probably kissed a dog on his nose. Surely once or twice before. Maybe more. Maybe more. But yeah, it's kind of like, you know how we have fingerprints? Well, a dog's nose has a unique pattern of its own. So there's another bonus fact. But anyway. So, dogs kick backwards after going to the bathroom. Have you noticed that? Especially when dogs like to go in the grass and, well, do their business. But they like to kick backwards, flicking all the muck and dirt and grass and soil away. It makes a bit of a mess. It's quite amusing to watch though. But they actually do that to mark their territory of their sweat glands in their feet. This is where the sweat glands are. They don't sweat out of their skin. It's all down in those little feet of theirs. That's how they sweat, you see. So especially if you've got a shaggy, hairy dog, you might want to take them to a dog groomer and get them all trimmed off. Get him or her all trimmed up, nice and short, so that way they can handle the heat. Only applicable on hot days, of course, and especially in hot cars, especially. But anyway, Here's another fact for you. Dogs do not like being touched on the paws. In fact, they really don't like it when you touch their paws, so I know it's very tempting. Might want to try and tickle the little hairs on their paws as well. I've done that before as well. But the truth is, they don't like being touched there. In fact, most dogs don't like being hugged, or at least held, because it's quite restrictive for them, you see. It's like you're holding them down. But there are exceptions. Sometimes it takes a bit of time for dogs to understand what a hug is. For example, you might be laying down on a mattress or relaxing on a sofa, and a dog might just jump up and curl up with you. Being hugged that way, usually they have to be conditioned, but conditioned dogs usually know that a hug means that you want to protect them and show them that they are loved. And that's always wholesome, isn't it? Yeah, it's very wholesome indeed. So anyway, another fact, let me think. Oh yes, did you know why dogs yawn? I bet you're thinking, oh, it's because they are just tired. Well, sort of, but dogs actually tend to yawn to calm themselves. It's quite relaxing for them to yawn and kind of just let it all out with a big squeaky sound. It's quite amusing when they make a big squeaky sound when they yawn. Have you heard a dog yawn before? They make a kind of sound. It's almost like they're whistling for someone. It's very wholesome indeed. But anyway, that's another fact I want to tell you. That's the best way to meet a new dog. Actually, do you happen to know how? Well, I'll tell you anyway. The best way, it's not to just put your hands right in front of them to feel them or to, get all up close to them. The best way is to just slowly hold your hand out, very gradually. Let them get a good sniff of you, and then go to pet them and squish their face and all that good stuff. Of course, that's just if you met a new dog and they might be a bit unsure, but sometimes there are some dogs that just rush up to you and they're all happy to see you, bouncing on their little legs and wanting to give you all the fuss and the kisses and licks and all sorts. Again, very wholesome. I prefer birds myself. I love birds, but dogs are still cute. Okay, now another fact. Now this is a very important one. I'll make this my final fact for you. Most fruit, chocolates, bacon, and salt, all these things are very bad for dogs. Things like chocolate can make their, let's just say, make their tummies very upset. And grapes are very poisonous, very toxic, especially for their kidneys. So whatever you do, fruit, chocolate, bacon, salt, you don't want to be giving them illnesses or trying them out. After all, don't give these to dogs. Just stick with the usual little treats you might give them. Doggy biscuits and, I knew someone who used to give a dog carrots. Those are quite good for them, actually, because, of course, carrots are good for the eyes, but especially good to crunch on. Dogs love to have things to crunch on with those mighty canine teeth of theirs. So there you go, another fact right there. So, has this been interesting for you? Has it helped you unwind and perhaps appreciate dogs more? Please tell me, I would love to know. Honest thoughts. Really? Oh, I see. Well, thank you for letting me know. Thank you ever so much. Well, you do look ever so tired, so tell you what, I'll pop by again for another appointment. If you ever need anything, just think of your old pal, Dr. Cyneric, and I'll rush on by. Alright then, well, since you're nice and comfy in your bed, just let yourself close your eyes. Breathing gently, breathing in and out. Breathing in and breathing out. Slowly and gently to fall asleep, because all will be well. All shall be okay. Dr. Cyneric will be back. I'll certainly be back for you. Because you're my ever so favorite patient in the whole wide world. Yeah, absolutely. I'm certainly going to be bringing more animal facts for you if you like. Oh, thank you for letting me know. I'll definitely be keeping that in mind. Well, I hope you have a lovely rest and wonderful dreams. Sweetest of dreams to you. I'll see you again ever so soon. Ever so soon. Hello there, it's wonderful to see you. It's me, Dr. Cyneric, and I'm here to give you another checkup. How are you feeling, by the way? Oh, really? That's very good to hear. I thought what I could do to make you feel all relaxed and help your headspace is to give you compliments. Lovely, reassuring, and heartwarming compliments to remind you of how wonderful of a person you are. Now, how does that sound? Do you want to hear some compliments from good old Dr. Cyneric? That's good. That's very good to hear. Okay, then, well, just get yourself all comfy first. Are you sitting comfortably? Are you feeling warm and snuggly in bed with plump pillows and clean bed sheets? That's good. That's very good. If you've got any plushies, be sure to snug all of those in your arms as well. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? Let's start off with a first compliment. You're amazing. You really are. You're an amazing person. I'm sure many people will agree that you're amazing. Putting smiles on faces, doing amazing things as well, making people feel happy and warm and tingly inside. I bet that's something that you do a lot of just by being yourself. You should be just being yourself. So that's always amazing, you know. Anyway, what other compliments could I share? Oh yes, I think you're really talented. Oh, I've heard some stories about you and your talents. Oh, no, you don't have to be modest. You know, a lot of us have different talents after all, big or small. But I think you have a lot of potential indeed. Whether you're up and coming, got a fair bit of experience in what you do under your belt, or really getting your name out there. Either way, you have the potential to grow, to learn new things, and to keep doing great things. Many, many great things indeed. You're like a flower. Yes, you're like a flower in a garden, ready to bloom even more. You can do all of these things for sure, because you really are ever so talented, ever so great at what you do. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're not good enough or that you can't do what you want to do. Keep reaching up for those dreams. Keep reaching for them. You'll get there. Anyway, what other possible compliments could I whisper to you? Oh, I've got one for you. I think you're pretty. Maybe you might prefer the term handsome, dashing, strapping, lovely, cute. Well, there's all sorts of potential adjectives I can use here. I'm actually curious. Which one makes you feel the best? Oh, really? Okay, well, I'll have to keep that one in mind, but especially that. Doubly that's for sure. Oh, there's another one I can tell you. You've got a beautiful smile. I love it. I bet you could light up an entire cave of grumpy little lumps. I'm not sure what you could call them, but grumpy lumps, let's call them. I bet if you walked in there and showed that lovely smile of yours, they'll all be having a toothy grin on their faces soon enough. I'm more than sure of that. So keep smiling. Keep on smiling whenever you really feel wonderful and great inside. Show it to the world. Everyone likes a smile after all. And you deserve to have more reasons to smile. I know some people say that you shouldn't force a smile. Well, that's understandable. But there are many reasons to smile, of course. So don't let anyone stop you from smiling if you want to show it to the world. Show everyone that you're feeling good and feeling happy. There's always something to be happy about, after all, wouldn't you say so? Yes, that's good. Right, well, what else could I tell you? Well, perhaps I could say that, yes, I've got something nice to tell you. You make my days better. Really, I really mean it. It's not easy being a doctor for so many people around the world, around this dimension and others. Pretend you didn't hear that last part. But anyway, it's not easy. It can be quite tiring, physically and mentally. But when I get to see you, it always makes it worthwhile. It really does. Makes the job so worth it. And I really love hearing your inputs and your opinions. And hearing about how you're feeling. And just being able to just see you again. And that lovely smile as well. And especially when you're getting all relaxed and comfy for rest. That's always the icing on the cake. And I love all of these things. I really do. I want to appreciate all of these things for certain. So now you know you're really making this job so much better and all the more worth it. So thank you once again. Oh, you're ever so welcome. You are ever so welcome all the way for sure. Anyway, what else could I be telling you? Well, I think you seem like a very patient sort. Yes, you seem patient and a good listener, very focused. Especially when I'm popping around, you always seem like you're listening to every word I'm saying. It's always wonderful. I understand that, sometimes it can be a bit difficult to entirely focus on a person and hear what they have to say, or the kind of things that they'd be needing to inform you on. Sometimes it can be a bit tricky. I'm afraid I'm susceptible to that as well. I've fallen into times where I've kind of struggled to keep my attention. I'm not sure why that is exactly. It just seems to flutter around sometimes. But when you're listening to me, well, I can definitely tell you're putting all your effort into listening to everything I'm saying, and that is really, really polite of you. That's very uplifting as well. So you're clearly a very good listener, very obedient and patient and thoughtful, especially when I'm going on my tangents and the like. But it's wonderful. It's wonderful to have such a lovely patient like yourself. A very wonderful patient for certain. Absolutely for certain. Very wonderful indeed. Anyway, what other compliments could I whisper to you? What potential lovely things could I whisper? I wonder. Well, when I pop in, my usual means of transport, and I, of course, take you with me to different places, different lands, well, I'm always popping into your room, of course. I'm sure you're totally fine with that. I certainly hope you are. But I've got to say, you've got a lovely room as well. You always have such lovely things. Has your own kind of signature to it. Not literally, of course, you're not writing on the walls or anything like that, but it just seems to scream you. It's your pad, your crib. I think that's what the cool kids like to call it these days, but it's your room. And you've got some lovely things in here as well. Very lovely things. I definitely think that it's great to be revisiting your room. I'd love a tour sometime. I'd love a tour. It would be absolutely wonderful to have a tour of your room and see what other cool little tidbits you might have. Very wonderful indeed, I'm very sure. Anyway, I think that's all the lovely things I can tell you. Well, I'm sure there's going to be many more, but I've got other people to see and, quite a lot of appointments I've got to catch up on, but I certainly hope this has been a lovely listen. Has it been lovely for you? Really? Thank you for telling me. Thank you for letting me know. Well, tell you what, I'll be back once again, but before I go, how about I help you sleep? Certainly. Just let yourself relax then. Let yourself unwind to the sound of my voice. Gently and softly, you will be carried away by the fatigue and the tiredness. But it'll all be okay, of course. You will be safe. You'll be carried off into dreamland, where you'll have wonderful, relaxing, and beautiful dreams for a lovely individual like yourself. And you deserve absolutely, positively, nothing less than all of that. Deep, slow breaths now. Slow and deep. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Yes, that's it. Just let yourself unwind and chill. Ever so sleepy now, aren't you? Yeah, that's what I thought. I can tell. Well, I'll be seeing you again ever so soon, so stay safe. And if you ever need anything, just think of your old pal, Dr. Cyneric. Nighty-night to you, my number one star patient. Nighty-night. Why, hello again. How are you feeling? Ah, that's good. Well, it's good to be speaking with you again. Just thought I'd pop on by, because I've got some new ideas on how to treat you and make you feel good before your rest. Well, you've probably just been awoken by me, but nevertheless, I've got some ideas here. Let me just make a note of... Oh, right, well, it looks like I've been turned into a bird again. Well, these things happen, I suppose. These things happen. Still fascinating. Very fascinating. I suppose it's one of the side effects of my means of transportation getting here, but I best not go into detail about that. No, but instead, let's get talking a bit about my idea. Yeah, so what I thought was I'll try and use laughter to help you relax. Funny stuff, jokes, things like that. Now, how does that sound? Does that sound exciting? Enthralling? Most curious? Interesting? Or any other words you'd like to say? How does that sound to you? Really? Oh, I see. Okay then, well, let's start by me asking you a few questions. I want to know, who are some of your favorite, let's say, comedians, or perhaps just favorite people that make you laugh? Who comes to mind? And you don't have to say me, of course. But anyway, who would you say are probably some of the funniest people that make you laugh? I see. Oh, really? Right, okay. Well, I'll try and make sure I make a mental note of all that. It's good to do a bit of research before delving into these things. What about, let's say, TV shows or movies, things like that? Are there any that really tickle your funny bone and always put a smile on your face? What would you say are some of your favorite shows? Okay. What about movies? Any other movies, perhaps, that you would consider some of the funniest? All right. Yes, I'll definitely try to make a mental note of those. Let's see that I'll try and apply this information for future use. Hopefully I won't forget. I'm a bit forgetful, as you probably know, but hopefully I'll remember this time. Anyway, let's start thinking of ideas that can make you laugh. Look, there's a glass of water here. I brought it with me, you'll see, but it's balancing here by your side. And look what happens when I stand right behind it. It makes my face look all pudgy and big and wide. Isn't that funny? That puts a smile on your face. Big old pudgy bird me. I'm sure that was an absolute gut buster right there, but let's think what else I can do to help make you smile and laugh before bed. How about some jokes? Yes. So, I watched some performers attempt to put as many dents in glass as possible without breaking them. It was a cracking good show. Get it? Because cracking as in cracks in the glass and cracking as in wonderful. Yeah. Here's another one. What do you call a stew made out of chewing gum? Do you give up? It's called gumbo. Gumbo, because it's a type of food. It's like a stew bit like a soup with all sorts of vegetables and things inside, but it's bubble gum. It's gumbo. That was a good one. I spent about a couple of hours last night thinking up that punchline. Anyway, did you know that philosopher Karl Marx, I've never really read his stuff, he seems like a bit of a crazy sort, but that's not the point. But did you know that Karl Marx had a brother who was really fond of racing cars? Yes, his first name was Skid. Is that a good one? Because skid marks, like skid marks on the road. That was a good one as well. I took some serious brainstorming to get that one done. I had to ask a few people for additional puns and jokes there for inspiration, so thank you to all those wonderful people for the idea. Here's another one. What do you call a rotten car? That's a tough one, I'm sure, but do you give up? Okay, I'll give you a little bit more time. Do you give up? A rotten car is a carrot. You probably don't get that, do you? Well, car and rot spells carrot. Car, rot, carrot, rotten car, carrot. Okay, that was a bit of a devious play on words there. That was a silly one, I admit. So there's a few jokes right there for you. I hope they were funny. Did you find them funny? But by all means, if they're not funny, just let me know. But if they are, then please do say. On a scale of 1 to 10, how funny were these jokes, with 10 being absolute gutbusters and 1 being not so good jokes? What do you say? Really? Oh, well, thank you for letting me know. I'm very appreciative of that. Very appreciative as well, yes. So, what else can I do to help you smile, make you laugh? Perhaps I could tell a story. Yes. This is a true story based on my own personal experiences. So once I visited, it was a lady who liked baking. I mean, she was a bit scared at first, but I tried to explain that I'm not here to harm anyone. I'm here to help them relax, and eventually we started chatting a bit. Turns out that she was quite stressed, rather stressed, because she was explaining that, well, her baking business is not doing too well, unfortunately. And as she put it, she said she needed to get bread on the table. I suppose that was a bit of a pun, but I didn't quite realize that at first, so the next time I visited her, I came back with a couple of bags full of loaves of bread, and I put them all on this nearby table by her bed. And I said, look, there's no need to be stressed out anymore. I've put bread on the table for you. Surely things will be better now. But she looked at me and, well, she got a good laugh out of that, and I thought, I guess I made her feel better, didn't I? But she explained, no, it's a saying. It's just a bit of a cliche. Put bread on the table means to get money from a job, for example, to, well, cover the essentials. So I'd learned something new that day, but I felt like a bit of a wally, I must admit. I suppose I am a bit of a silly bird sometimes, aren't I? Yes, it happens. Well, yes, sometimes I do take things a bit too seriously, a bit too upfront at face value, but, well, these things happen. We're only human after all. Well, I'm a bird right now, but my point remains we're only human, and we're all making mistakes, but that's okay, as long as we learn from them, and have a good laugh about it as well, as long as we learn to have a good laugh about it. That's always good, isn't it? yes. So, how was that story? How was that story? Was it a good listen? Scale of 1 to 10. A lovely listen for 10, or a bit of a rubbish one for 1. I see. Well, thank you for your honesty. I'll try and make a mental note of that. Yes, I'll try and make a mental note of that indeed. Well, looks like you're getting a bit sleepy. Bless you. Tell you what. How about I help you just relax and unwind? How does that sound? Certainly no. Well, I would help tuck you in, but yes, I'm a bird right now, so I can't do that. But I'll still help you relax and unwind by whispering reassurances to you. So close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and then out. Now, gentle breaths, breathing in and breathing out. All shall be well, and I hope you have lovely dreams. A relaxing snooze. And remember, if you ever need something, just think of your old pal, Dr. Cyneric, and I'll do my best to come on down and help you relax again. Ever so gently, ever so softly, let yourself drift away. I'll be seeing you ever so soon. I'll be seeing you very, very soon indeed. So don't you fret, don't you worry. All will be well. Sweetest of dreams to you, my number 1 patient, my star patient. Why, greetings, salutations, and hello once again. It's good old Dr. Cyneric here. How are you feeling? That's good. Now, there might be a bit of a surprising revelation here. I think you've probably already discovered that. Well, once again, that I'm here. Hello. But, you're also on a beach. Yes, well, it's quite obvious that, of course, it's very obvious that you're on a beach, but you're also on a beach, but there's no bed of yours this time. And I think I know why. Well, you see, when I got here, because of my usual means of transport that I managed to use in order to reach you, it's come with a slight side effect. It seems to have, taken you and I here, but not your bed. In fact, I think your bed is perhaps just, a bit of a brisk walk down the beach that way. So, yeah, it's a bit of a walk, and from the looks of it, you seem to be struggling to get back on your feet. Is everything okay? Oh dear. I think I have a hypothesis here as well. I believe that a side effect of the... I best keep that part a secret. But basically, I think it may be that you might have a slight struggle, shall we say, with walking right now because of, the side effects of me taking you in your bed with me to this beach, basically. essentially you can't walk without great difficulty. Either that or you're just very tired. Well, whatever the reason. Tell you what, how about this? How about I carry you to your bed? I mean, I could carry the bed to you, but, well, that might take a while. But I can carry you to the bed. How does that sound? Really? Well, as long as you're okay with it, then let's go. Well, of course, I've got to lift you up first, so arms out. Let me just gently lift you up. Oh, there we go. Oh, there. Oh, I'm stronger than I thought. Seriously, you're quite light. Well, I'm not going to argue with this. Let's get walking. I do enjoy beaches. I really like being near the beach. What about you? Do you like that as well? I see. I don't really explore the beaches during the daytime. There's usually too many people, but nighttime though, sometimes if I ever get a chance, I try and get myself to the beach and just listen to the waves rushing and roaring. It's like the water is trying to whisper something, whisper a message, as if to say, shh, everything will be alright. Don't come swimming, because it might be a bit cold and salty, but we'll hush you to sleep if you're listening to us rush around. At least that's what I assume the water would probably say, if water could ever speak. But anyway, just a bit of rambling thoughts. My thoughts seem to rush like a waterfall. Sometimes they just seem to pour on over, just keep pouring away, and, well, I just let my mouth run, let the thoughts just pour out whenever I have someone to listen, someone to hear me say all these interesting things. Perhaps I should be a philosopher. Or maybe I should just write this stuff down. I seem to forget to do stuff like that. Yes, I probably should write stuff down. But still, there's no shame in me still being a doctor. I love being a doctor. I love helping people, you see. I hope that I've helped you with all my medical shenanigans. Have I? No, you don't have to sugarcoat things, it's okay. Have I helped you in any significant way with all of my visits and checkups and whatnot? Really now? Well, thank you for your honesty. Thank you for being transparent with me. That's very important after all. It's always very important for patients to be transparent with their doctors. So thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. I'll try and make a mental note of this, just to be sure. And I'll keep trying to do my best for you. I always like to do my best, you see. It's always nice to be able to be nice and supportive, do good stuff, lovely things and whatnot. So I'll keep trying to do exactly all of that for you. Whatever I can, whatever you need, I'll do my best indeed. Perhaps I should make that my doctor slogan. Whatever it is that you need, I'll do my best for you. Indeed. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know that. I mean, know it. But there we go, good save. Right. Okay then, shouldn't be too far from here, I'd like to think. Shouldn't be too far at all. It's a good thing that it's not too far, of course, but I'm really not struggling carrying you. I know I'm quite tall and thin. You wouldn't have assumed that I might have so much muscle in me, but, well, I surprise even myself, I suppose. I guess I am a bit more strong than I thought. I'm not one to kind of get in fights or fisticuffs or anything like that. Honestly, I'd probably lose because I don't really know how to fight. The least I can do if there's anything problematic or perhaps anything dangerous going on, the least I can do is throw myself into the equation to ensure that no one's getting hurt. That's what I do. I would much rather be a protector type after all. Anything like that, that would be lovely, a protector. Not like a superhero, I sure do have a cape, yes. I have a little cape, but it's not like a superhero cape. It's more for, how to put it? It's more to protect me from the sun. Well, you see, because I wear this mask, and it can get quite hot under here, so I wear a cape to protect me from sunlight. Really? Oh, yes, black clothes. I suppose they do kind of absorb heat from the sun rays anyway, so it's probably going to make me a bit warmer. Oh, well, either way, it's part of my aesthetic as well. It's good for slinking around at night when trying to mind my own business after all. Do you think it makes me perhaps a bit too mysterious? Really, no. I didn't think of it that way. Perhaps I've scared people too much because I have got a hood on. Maybe I have. Certainly hope not. I don't want to be scaring people after all. I want to be a nice person. I like being a nice guy, a lovely chap. But oh well. Not much I can do about the mask, unfortunately. It's a very important. I'm a little on the shy side, but also it's also a very important piece of clothing. Well, you see, as you can tell, it's got tubes in it. It's attached to a respirator on my back. Well, I suppose the little cloak of mine kind of hides that respirator. We don't want anyone eyeing that and trying to tamper with it, but yes, I really could do with that respirator because it helps me breathe. Helps keep the lungs clear. And without it, I probably wouldn't be able to breathe for very long. I very rarely take off my mask. Sometimes it's only just for when I'm washing or eating and drinking. And even then I tend to do all those things in my own private quarters and whatnot. Well, that kind of goes without saying when I'm washing, of course. The last thing I want is for me standing around in a pair of swimming trunks, washing myself in nearby fountains outside a park or something. That would be a bit strange, a bit creepy as well, but you get what I'm saying, though. You get what I'm saying. I very rarely take off the mask. It's only for eating, washing, and sleeping. Yeah, I wear a simpler respirator when I'm sleeping, you see. Helps me breathe while I'm slumbering away. Yeah, slumbering away. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. There's your bed. Let's get you tucked in, shall we? Let's get up closer and closer. Here we go. All right then, are you ready for me to plop you in your bed? All right then. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Do you want me to tuck you in? Certainly. Let's tuck you in by your little feet and your arms. Let's soften those pillows a bit. There we go. There we are. Well, looks like we finally made it. I wasn't quite sure what the visit was for, but I suppose a stroll on the beach together, well, with me carrying you, I suppose we could consider that an appointment in itself, can't we? Yes, I like your enthusiasm. But yeah, I suppose we can consider this an appointment. It's not often that you get to walk on the side of the beach, or, well, get carried by me walking on the side of the beach at night time. It's always beautiful at night time, after all. Anyway, I can tell you're getting a bit tired, so how about you just let yourself close your eyes now, and I'll I'll imitate those waves to help you fall asleep now. Slowly and gently breathe in and breathe out. Take in all the goodness of the fresh, salty air and push out all the negativity, the bad vibes. I'll be seeing you again very soon indeed, because Dr. Cyneric is always here for his #1 star patient. Anything for you. Nighty-night now, nighty-night. Oh, hello there. It's good to see you again. How are you feeling? Wonderful, wonderful. Now, you're probably a bit confused again. Well, actually, come to think of it, you're probably a bit more used to the fact that I like to pluck you where I am. You know, I like to bring you with me to places for things like checkups and the like, and this is exactly one of those, right here on a train. And we're going to be doing a checkup. It's good that I chose this carriage here. It's it's relatively comfortable, a bit like your bed. But don't worry, I didn't bring your bed with you this time, but I promise you afterwards I'll make sure you're back in your bed, like usual. Anyway, so it's been a bit of a while since I did a bit of a checkup on you, and it's always important to do checkups to make sure that your health is tippity-top. Absolutely A-OK, wonderful, spectacular, and all of that stuff. So, how does that sound to you? Are you up for a checkup? That's good. I like that mood of yours. I love that spirit. Always up for a checkup from your good chum, Dr. Cyneric. Okay, right now, let's start by having you open your mouth. Don't worry, I'm not going to be sticking any sharp, pointy apparatuses or anything of the sort in your mouth. I just want to check your dental hygiene. So please go ahead. Open that mouth of yours very slowly now. There we are. Let's just take a quick peek. Yeah, it seems alright. Looks intact. No teeth gremlins in there. No tooth fairy trying to ransom off your choppers for money. So it should be alright. And yeah, seems perfectly fine. Alright then, well, you can close your mouth now. Let's make a quick note of this. There we go. Right. Okay. So, looks like your mouth is alright. Let's just have a bit of a look at your eyes now, if you don't mind. I'm just going to use my gloved hands. Don't worry, I cleaned them before our meeting. But I'm just going to use my gloved hands to open up one of your eyes a bit more. Just to make sure that it's all in good condition. Is that okay? Okay then, okay. Yes, definitely it looks like an eye as well. That's always good. That's always good. We don't want it looking like anything else, just an eyeball. So it's quite pink here, quite red there. Plenty of the white part of the eye around. Good. Okay, let's check the other one. There we go. Lifting the eyelid, I can see more red and more pink. No one trying to cover your eyes over to make it difficult to see. Nothing of the sort like that. No clouds in front of the eyes. Good, good. Tell me, how often do you use technology? For example, do you use phones or computer screens? Anything like that? Do you use those for at least 28 hours a day or more? Really? Oh, well, that is good. That is good. Let me just make a note of that as well. Yes, 28 hours a day. There we are. Okay, good, good. Right, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Seems that your mouth is all right. Your eyes are okay. Well, quick glance at the nose. It seems all right as well. Can I just take your temperature? What I'll do, I'll put my wrist on your forehead just to read your temperature. Let's just get yourself to lean back a bit. Let me just place my exposed wrist there. There we go. Seems about the right temperature. I hope my skin's not too cold, is it? Okay, thank you for letting me know. Just want to make sure. Still seems soft. There's definitely a skull still under the skin. That's good. Always important to make sure that all the bones are in place and that the tooth fairy's not trying to ransom off the skull along with the teeth as well. I've heard devious things about that. Oh, that wicked witch, I tell you. Still, yeah, it's definitely a good temperature in place, no damage. Yes, that's excellent, excellent. Another note for that. There we go. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Okay, so there's that. Actually, I should probably ask as well, how often do you get intrusive thoughts? You know, thoughts that kind of like forced into your mind and you got to like wrestle with them a bit too, just to make sure that you're not doing anything impulsive or acting on instinct or something like that. How often did that happen to you on, let's say, a daily basis? Would you say 10 times, 100 times, maybe 1,000 times in a day? How much would you roughly gear towards more? Really? Ooh, right. Guess I'll make a note of that. That's good, that's good. If you're having 1,000 intrusive thoughts, that would be worrying. But I can only imagine the amount of damage it would do to the skull. Just imagine all these intrusive ideas forcibly being pushed in the skull. That could do some serious damage to it. Well, anyway, let's just quickly make a note. There we go. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Alright then, alright. So, it seems like, okay, skull, head, definitely A-okay. Right, what else to check? Could I please just take your hands as well? Yes, just one for first. Yeah, the left one first. We'll just do one-handed first. Let's just give that a quick squeeze. Bit of a stroke. Okay. Seems like stress levels are in order. No shakiness, no uncomfortableness. That's good, that's good. Everything seems to be in place. That's right, yes, yes. I don't suppose you might be able to tell me, how often do you use your hands for things like, oh well, let's say dangerous tasks like carrying absurdly heavy equipment, or perhaps fist-fighting wild bears? Perhaps you do drum solos on large rocks on the side of the beach. Or maybe you might be trying to do that thing with your hands where you kind of like stick your fingers all together and twist them around to make it seem like it's a ball of spaghetti. How often do you do these sorts of things let's say 5 times a week, 10 times a week, perhaps 50. How often would you say you do these sorts of things? Oh, I see. I see. Let's make a note of that as well. And this might be very important indeed. Okay. That's lovely. Okay, let's just check the other hand just to be sure. Yeah, no shaking. Bones still there. Fingers are in place. Look at the little thumb. Look at that little wiggly thumb. Anyway, so the palm is alright. It's gone. Yeah, it's right there. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Wonderful. That's wonderful. Right, now, one more thing. Let's just check about your legs and your feet. Could you do me a favour? Since you're sitting down, could you just wiggle your feet a bit? Just give it a little, if you get what I'm saying. That's perfect. Just keep wiggling. Just keep wiggling. That's good. That's good. Wiggle your feet and legs up just a bit slower. Just want to make sure that... Yes, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Perfect in motion. Doesn't seem to be any abnormalities or extra legs growing out. You definitely have just 2 legs, right? Not 8, like a spider, right? Good. That's always wonderful to hear. I would be rather bemused, but also a little bit scared if you did have 8 legs. It would be a bit weird. Right, so it looks like your legs are all in order as well. Okay. One last thing about your torso. Let me just ask one question about that. How often do you eat spicy foods? For example, curries or spicy crisps or stuff like that. Okay. Now, how many times have you eaten spicy foods to the point where your stomach feels like it's like a cauldron of fire that makes you want to belch out literal fire like a dragon? How many times has this happened? You don't say. Well, definitely making a note of that right there to get that put there. Surprising, really very surprising, but nonetheless. Okay, well, that's all done. That's all done. Thank you once again. Thank you ever so much. It looks wonderful. All the stats here, all the answers, looks wonderful. It seems that you are in excellent health, if I do say so myself. Well, that's my opinion. Good old Dr. Cyneric, once again, doing another wonderful checkup on you, so I guess it's probably a good time to get you back home, wouldn't you say? Now, we could take a ride back home on this train, but it might be a bit of a long while. I don't actually know where this train is going, and I think I've only got 1 ticket. Not sure how they'll respond if a staff member comes in and asks for another, but we'll get you as quickly home as possible with the usual methods of mine. So, tell you what you can do right now, just lean back, okay? Lean back into that lovely scene, and then just take a deep breath, deeply in, and out. Deep in breath, deep out breath. Keep your eyes closed, that's it. Keep your eyes closed and just think of happy thoughts. Think of that wonderful, soft, comfy bed you'll be in. Lovely, comfy bed. All will be well, but all will be safe. Dr. Cyneric will be back. I'll be back to do another checkup. I promise you that. Absolutely. There we go. I'll be seeing you soon then, my star patient. Oh, just keep comfy there. Relax and unwind. All will be well. does it go again? Never mind. Oh, look who it is. Hello, you. How are you feeling? Ah, wonderful. Excellent. So, I bet you're wondering what on earth are you doing here with your good chum, Dr. Cyneric? Well, I've got a bit of an idea, you see. I want to see what will happen if I whisper to you. And I don't mean whispering just normally. No, what I'm going to do is whisper in German. How's that for an idea? You're probably wondering, where did I get this idea? Well, let me tell you then. So, the idea came around when I was listening to music, and I discovered that there were some bands that just sing German. And that got me wondering, what do they mean when they say these strange words I've never heard before? So rather than constantly searching up the lyrics online for a translation, which I did by the way, I thought, you know what, maybe I could use these to help myself learn a bit of German. And then I thought, what if I taught my patients some German? See, clever idea, I know, clever idea. What do you think to that idea, or would you be comfortable with it? Really? Oh, well, more than happy to start if you are. So, tell you what, just lay back and relax where you are now, okay? I'll whisper some German words, and hopefully it will help you feel more relaxed, less stressed. Let me ask you this first, then. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are your stress levels? Any number between 1 and 10, of course, 1 being low, 10 being rather high. So, how are your stress levels? I see. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you very much indeed. Alright then, well, let's start whispering some phrases and words in German. Okay, here we go. Here's a handy phrase. Use this to someone that you love and care for. Friend, family member, lover, partner, anything you want, even your dog. Though I don't think dogs can understand German. I don't quite know. I'll have to research that. But anyway. So here's one. Ich liebe dich. Ich liebe dich. That's German for I love you. It's a lovely phrase, isn't it? It just rolls off the tongue. Ich liebe dich. I love you. There we are, starting off with a wholesome one to start things off. So, how about another one? How about another phrase that you could potentially use? Let's try this one. Meine Freunde, tanz mit mir. Meine Freunde, tanz mit mir. That is, my friend, dance with me. So it's always a good idea to whip out that one in case you ever want to dance. Have a bit of a boogaloo, or as the kids say, a jiggity-doo-dah. I think that's what they say in slang these days. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty confident about that one nonetheless. 70% confident. Anyway, a handy phrase if you're ever at a dance club, or perhaps you might want to strut your funky stuff, as they used to say. Especially when you're excited and happy. So keep that phrase in mind. Alright, what else? What else can we say? Ich bin ein Ausländer. Ich bin ein Ausländer. That's basically saying, I am an outlander. Quite handy for perhaps going to Germany, just to let everyone know that you're not from around here. But if you are, then, well, there's no point learning that phrase, but, still, a handy phrase, potentially handy at least. So, ich bin ein Ausländer. By the way, you got to roll the tongue. Make that R sound, you know, roll the R's. Well, okay, you don't have to, but it sounds better. I like rolling the R's when I'm speaking German, or rolling the R's. Always makes me smile. Okay then, okay. Whatever could I potentially think to say in German? Yes, 30%. 30% in German is, oh dear, 30%? No, it's 30%. 30%. That's 30%. Got a bit mixed up there. Awfully specific, I know, but let's try some other ones. Das ist gut. Das ist gut. Quite an easy one, that. That is good. You could say that if you perhaps are trying to say that something is good. You could also say, das ist sehr gut. That is very good. Or, das ist so gut. That is so good. You could be saying that when you're tugging into a delicious meal, or perhaps watching an exciting movie. Something like that might come in handy indeed. Here's another phrase. Sturm und Drang. Sturm und Drang. Now, this basically means storm and urge, or storm and stress. It's, in other words, it's an event in history referring to, I believe, when the Germans were deciding, you know what, let's stop making pieces of art, that's all artsy, you know, always making like pretty art that makes people happy. Let's stop restricting ourselves. Let's go all out, make whatever art we want. Sturm und Drang. It's a great phrase to kind of call out. It's like a battle cry, but for artists. So there's a bit of history for you right there. So, what else could I teach you? Let's see. Mit mir, mit dir. With me, with you. Simple, isn't it? But there's also without. You could say ohne dich, without you. Ohne mich, without me. So those can be used in pretty much any sorts of conversations involving referring to yourself or someone around you. So that's quite a lot of German phrases I've taught you there. But my oh my, you are looking ever so tired, aren't you? Blimey, we should get you to sleep, shouldn't we? Let's wrap things up here for now. Let's make it a bit of a quick one. But don't worry. Perhaps I could do a check-in again soon. Let me think. Perhaps in a couple of days' time might be a good idea. But, well, we'll see how it all turns out, won't we? Okay, but before you fall asleep, of course, let me ask you this. What are your stress levels now? After all that speaking in German, how are your stress levels? Again, from 1 to 10. 1 being low and 10 being high. Go ahead. Really now? You don't say. Well, gotta make a mental note of that. Thank you very much for letting me know. This will be vital for my research. But again, for now though, let's get you back to sleep, and you'll be back in your room as soon as you know it. So, just let your eyes droop. Let yourself fall asleep, all snugly and comfy. Relax yourself all over. Ever so relaxed indeed. And all's well, all will be well. Dr. Cyneric will be with you once again to check up on you, because you're my star patient, my very favorite of all. There now, gently, you're floating off into slumber. seeing you again ever so soon. Nighty-night now. Nighty-night. Oh, well met. It's lovely to see you again. How is your headspace, by the way? I see. Thank you for letting me know. Well, since you're here, it's time for another little, well, I suppose you could say checkup, but, well, I wanted to try something with you. I wanted to see that if I could perhaps reduce your stress levels with brushes. Yes, brushes. You know, paint brushes. But don't worry, I'm not going to paint your face or anything like that. That would be silly. No. What I'm going to do is use paint brushes to rub on your face. Just gently brush your face. Very softly, very gently brushing your face to make sure that all the stress, all the bad vibes all go away. How does that sound? Wonderful. Ever so wonderful. Alright. So, for starters, let me just check about how you're feeling now. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your stress levels? 10 being ever so stressed out. 1 being not so stressed out, not a care in the world. So how would you rate your stress levels at the moment? Really? Alright, well, thank you for letting me know. I guess what we'll do now is lean back now, just get yourself all comfy, all relaxed, and let me get the paintbrush. Here it is. I've got a medium-sized paintbrush. I don't know what size an artist would call it, a size 3 or a medium, I don't know. But either way, main thing is it's a paintbrush, and I'm going to be using it on you. Alright then, here we go. There we are. Very nice indeed, I'm sure. Ever so gently brushing you. Softly brushing your face. Brush. Gently brushing all the stress away. I've always wondered, what if I gave a crack at painting? I wonder if that would be any fun. Well, right now I'm kind of just pretend painting your face in a sense. I'm not using any ink or paint or dyes or anything of the sort, but again, I suppose you could argue that I'm pretend painting or imaginary painting on your face. It's quite nice, isn't it? Let's see. If I brush this way, there we are. Very gently, very softly indeed. Oh, that looks lovely. I bet that is a wonderful feeling, I'm sure. Alright. So, here's an idea. Let me try brushing one side of your face nearer to... Let's start with the left. Yes, let's brush to the left here. Here we go. Very nice. Brush the left side. All the stress and all the bad vibes, hopefully, very much hopefully, disappearing. All the brushes. Brush. Rub away. Dab away too. left side for now. Don't get jealous, right side. I'll be doing the same to you too. Here we go. More brushes. More rubbing. Rub, rub, rub. Brushing all the bad stuff away. Ever so gently and ever so softly. There we are. Okay, let's try the right side. Let's brush the right side. Brushing away the bad vibes. All the negative energies. All being pushed away. Pushed away like an artist. I would love to try out some art. I've never really tried it. I've always been fascinated by medicine. Medicine's always been interesting. I've always wanted to be a doctor, you see. Was really keen on that. Have you ever been interested in medicine? Oh, you don't say. Well, for me, I don't know. I just like the thought of helping people and all the factual kind of things that come with it. Very nice stuff. All right, let's just keep brushing. Little bit more. Here we go. Very nice. But who knows, maybe someday you could be a doctor. It would be nice, I'm sure. I'd love helping people. Again, this is one of the big reasons why I wanted to become a doctor. I can't quite remember when I got my doctorate. Don't think of it. Did I ever get one? Not sure. Must have been quite a while ago, but benefit of the doubt, I suppose. Oh, listen to me ranting and raving. Anyway, brushing, there we go. All done there. Tell you what, let me get this little brush. Look at this little thing right here, so ever so little. Alright then, alright. Tell you what, mind if I just take your hand, open palm, there we go. Let's keep it close to your face so you can hear the brushing sounds. Let's just put that there, and then here we are. Gentle tickles from the small brush. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Little brushes. Very relaxing, I'm sure. Ever so stress relieving. I certainly hope so, that is. But let's just hope that it does indeed reduce the stress. Brush it all the way. Pushing all the stress and bad memories, bad thoughts, all that kind of bad feelings and whatnot. Let's make sure that they dissipate and get swept up by the bristles of these brushes. I tell you, these were very cheap to get. Very cheap. Decided to go to a local shop, like a discount shop, to get them. Absolute bargain, I must say. Yes, it was an absolute bargain. Didn't spend much money whatsoever. Got a few strange glances from the staff members, but no matter about that. I will do whatever I can for all my patients. Anyway, brushing away. Alright, let's try the other hand. Let's just put that there as well. There, that's right. Keep it there. Gently brush your open palm. Brushing away all the little tingly tickles that come with it. I tried it on myself before coming here, you see, just to make absolutely sure that they were indeed lovely tingly brushes, and I was doing that to my own hands for a good half hour. Or was it an hour? Maybe 2 hours. Either way, I was having an absolute ball just practicing on my own hands, tickling away all the tickles. Perhaps I'll do the same to that green-haired chap, the chap with the green eyes that I've visited before. Quite a shy chap, you see, a bit reserved, a bit of a reserved gentleman. Again, strange eyes, strange haircut too. No, but I shouldn't go into too much detail about my other patients, of course, but nevertheless, let's just keep tickling and rubbing. Rub, rub, rub. Gently rubbing this little brush on your palms. There we go. All right then. Okay then, let's wrap that up. Okay, so let me just ask, how are your stress levels now on a scale of 1 to 10? Really? All right then, let's make a quick note of that. There we go. All right then, wonderful. I think this was very helpful for my research, and I hope it helped you as well. Thank you. Thank you very much. Guess it's time to get you back home. So what I'll do is get you snuck back with my shortcut. Let's say my special shortcut. But first, what I need you to do is just let yourself relax. Close your eyes. Deep breaths in like this. And deep breaths out like this. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Gently breathing. And all will be well. All shall be okay. Your old chum, Dr. Cyneric, will be back soon. I promise you that. My most favorite patient of all. There. See you soon now. Such a sleepy little patient you are. But I'll be seeing you soon. Alright, nighty-night then. Nighty-night, my most special, beloved patient of all.